Hi, it's Bo with Dodson Arms Co. Welcome to Gun Tech Tips number 3.0. Today we're going to be discussing the prevention of shotgun blowups and the common causes of them. We've seen a lot of video from other channels and scuttlebutt on the internet where people test firearms and under certain controlled conditions, and they do different things to try to blow them up. And when the guns don't blow up, they give people the impression that you can do all kinds of stupid stuff and get away with it. But the reality of the situation is much different. A lot of times when guns blow up, they can eject shrapnel, they can blow your hand off, they can kill people, they can kill bystanders. So what we want to do today is look at the main causes. The first gun we're going to look at is a double barrel. This gun was blown up by a muzzle obstruction. And when it did that, a substantial amount of shrapnel was ejected when it exploded. And what you'll notice is all these edges are razor sharp. And what's kind of really interesting is how this part peeled back. All these edges are razor blades. So you can see if you'd have been standing beside this gun when it blew up, probably a third of the end of the barrel was blown off as shrapnel. Now most of these barrel obstructions, what happens is if the obstruction is near the end of the barrel, when you fire the charge it runs down the barrel and then it hits something at the end, and that is probably the worst case scenario, where something's plugged in the barrel and just blows it off. Something more common is resulting with a bulged barrel. We'll try to get this close enough where you can actually see the bulge in it. So what happened on this one, a lot of times when you're doing stuff like, people will tell you it's okay to use cut shells and fire cut shells. A lot of times they end up bulging the barrel or blowing barrels when they do that because they leave debris in the bore, or they separate in the bore while they're being fired. The thing to remember with a cut shell is if you look at a cut shell, you notice that a rifle slug is smaller than the diameter of the exterior of the shell. When you fire a cut shell, you're firing an oversized projectile up the bore. And shotgun bores are notoriously soft and thin compared to rifle barrels. So they're fairly easy to destroy. And the older the gun is, usually the softer the metal is in it. This particular gun with the bulged barrel was a Remington Model 31 in 20 gauge. And when you're buying used guns, what you want to do is to avoid buying something with a bulged barrel, because some bulges are very difficult to see. You want to run your fingers down the barrel like this, and you'll feel the bulges if it's got any. Then what you want to do is look down the bore of the barrel, because a lot of times barrels will have dents, and what a dent is when something hits the exterior, the dent will project into the bore. And those can be repaired with a hydraulic dent razor, but that's an added expense you'd have if you bought that particular gun. What we have here is a 16 gauge Savage version of the Browning A5. The Browning A5, the Savage 720, 740 series, and the Remington Model 11s were all built off the same pattern. Basically they're the same gun with differences in manufacturing techniques. One of the common accidents we see with this gun is firing out a battery. And it's not the fault of the gun, it's the fault of the operator. A lot of these guns are very old and people have never taken a bolt apart and cleaned them. And what will happen is, when you look here, we'll do a close-up. You'll look at the face of the bolt, and what will happen is the firing pin will get stuck in a protruded position because of dirt in the firing pin channel. And when you release the bolt, it strips around, runs forward, and detonates a shell before it locks up. That's called an out of battery detonation, and those can blow pieces of the handle, the bolt extractors out of the gun. It's a fairly common issue. I've seen that happen at the skeet range. It's very easily preventable. You just take the gun apart, clean it, and you clean the inside of the bolt channel. We get a good shot here of the bolt face here, and as you can see where the firing pin hole is. You always want to check these guns if you're buying them or using them, or if you hadn't shot in a while. You want to take the barrel off and you want to look in here and see if that firing pin is stuck in the forward position. This one's okay. You can see the hole there, no firing pin protrusion. The pin is protruding. When you close the bolt, it'll detonate the round, and it can blow the gun up. The fourth cause of shotgun explosions, detonations, destruction is the use of excessive hand loads. The gun I parted out last year, this was a Noble Model 66J. What somebody did is fired a hand load in it that looked to have about triple the amount of powder it was supposed to have, and what it did is it expanded the receiver and it ejected the trigger group out of the bottom of the gun. We appreciate you joining us on Tech Tip 3.0, Shotgun Blow-Up Prevention. And we invite you to the next Tech Tip video, which will be out next week. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Rate us thumbs up, thumbs down. Let us know what you think. If you want to see more videos like this, or you want to see something different, let us know. Thanks. Bye.